My name is Rodfel Carlos Silva. Nung una panahon kasi, uso yung pagko-combine ng pangalan. So, yung Rodfel, Rodrigo, name yun ng dad niya. Name yun ng dad ng mom ko. Tapos yung Felicissimo, name yun ng dad ng mom ko. So basically, hindi ako junior. Pero ginagamit ko sa Facebook, Carlos Silva. So nung pinost ko yung schedule na Carlos Silva's Way, so marami nag-react na kasi marami akong friends sa Facebook, so akala nila ako. Although kinarek ko naman eventually, no? So tanong ko lang, to start this talk, no? Pasensya na ko yung medyo mahaba. Sorry. If you were given a chance to speak up one last time in your life, what would you say? No. Nangyari kasi kay Dad, na-stroke siya. So yung paralysis niya from nose pababa. So basically affected yung oral, yung muscles niya sa bibig, no? So basically hindi siya nakakapagsalita. So sa iba na nakakita nung primal days ng kanyang illness, no? Ano siya, aphasic, meaning wala siyang expression, blank, mukha siyang galit. Kasi technically, yun yung in-explain ko sa mga tao kasi parang mukha siyang suplado, mukha siyang galit. So, I tell them na aphasic siya, walang expression. Kahit masaya siya, you just look into his eyes, doon mo lang makita kung masaya siya. So basically, hindi siya nakaka-smile, no? So, I ran through the files before kasi nung na-admit si Dad, biglaan, no? Dinala ko si Dad sa hospital, nakakalakad, nakakapagsalita. Pero since, registered nurse kasi ako, so kahit paano, may knowledge ako regarding neurological problems. No? So napansin namin sa bahay, although ang chief complaint niya, first na complaint niya, nahihilo lang siya. Pero malakas lahat, unlike yung typical stroke na alam natin na half paralyzed, biglang hindi nagigising. No? So si Dad, fully awake. Tapos 5 out of 5 lahat ng functions ng katawan niya. So ang naging concern lang namin, hypertension, 150/90, which is his normal BP. Tsaka napansin namin sa bahay na medyo slurred yung speech niya. Pero hindi siya ganun ka-noticeable as compared to yung talagang mga acute attacks na obviously talagang bulol, no? So parang medyo slow-mo lang. So okay. So dinala namin. Yung progress ng disease niya sobrang bilis to the point na we were caught unguarded. Na if only I would have the chance to bring it back, na I should have taken the first day niya pa lang, dapat in-interview ko na siya, binidyohan ko na. Kaso wala. You can never tell when it's too late, diba? So, yeah. So, meron kaming paper. Sa paper kami nagko-communicate before. Kasi, nagsimula, akala namin sore throat. Akala namin stress lang, no? So, basically, nawala talaga total yung voice. So, nagko-communicate kami through writing, no? So, kanina, sabi ko kay mom, where's my mom? Ayun, sabi ko kay mom, patingin ako ng yung last, kasi nag-release si Dad nung last na time na makakasulat siya. Kasi eventually, nag-progress din yung motor niya. So, kahit nagagalaw niya right, up and down, hindi na siya fine. Hindi na siya makakasulat ng simple alphabet, no? So basically, nakita ko letter from mom, sobrang scribbled na siya eh. Kailangan pa decipher yung meaning. Hindi naman sobrang total decipher, pero I need to figure out yung talagang So, sira-sira yung grammar niya, in short, no? So these are the words, the last phrases that made Dad write. Technically, the last phrases that he said when he was able to talk, no? So first one, I love you very much, honey. So technically, yung honey, nanay ko yun. Another one was, your kids are here with me, ha? So, yun. And lastly, I love you so much, anak. How do I pay for all that you've done to me? So, basically, nung kabibase yung talk ko, i-breakdown ko yung mga phrases niya, no? So, even in his last minute na makakapag-communicate siya, in my interpretation, no, these are the most important things in his life, aside from teaching, aside from other family members, no? So, I love you very much, honey. I want to talk about Dad as a husband in my subjective point of view. So, for me, and my mom, actually nag-usap kami ng mom ko kanina, no? Dad was a loving and passionate person. So, he always think of mom. So, kunyari, lalabas kami. Tapos, anak, bilang mo yung mom mo ng siopaw, ah. Anak, bilang mo yung mom mo ng burger. So, he always think about mom. So, never ko na rin, anak, bilang mo ako ng ganito. Although, siguro technically, it was a camouflage. Na, he wanted burger, but he told, anak, bilang mo si mom, ah. Dalawa, ah. So yun. Hindi natin alam. Pero I always thought of my mom. No? Tapos isa pa, we were never perfect. There's never a perfect family. But despite imperfection, syempre, may mga personal problems kami na syempre hindi ko disclose. Pero I'm sure majority of people here have experienced family problems. Sabi nga ni ma'am, gwapo si dad. Sabi niya yun. So, yun ako rin. Okay. So yun. So, I'm very proud of my dad because he stayed. No? He stayed despite these problems. Kasi lahat naman tayo may choice eh. We always have a choice. Sorry kung wala akong intention, no? So may mga broken families, no? It's a reality na may broken families, no? So there are people who stay despite the problems, and there are people who say it's over. Let's stop this. I'm not happy anymore. So I'm very proud of my dad because the fact that after all the tribulations in our lives, no, he stayed. No? He was man enough to stay. He never got out of it, even though he can do it. No? As Dave said, he's a smart man. He can go somewhere. He can live there by his own because he's smart. He can start new. So yun, as loving, passionate, as a kid, nakikita ko si dad pag Valentine's Day, yung typical flowers, chocolates, tapos dinidate niya si mom, no? Kanina ko lang ginawa yung speech kasi sobrang busy lang talaga for the week. Sa mga ibang nakakapunta for the previous days, no? Pasensya na po kung sobrang late kami palagi kasi late na po kami na nakakatulog. Tapos bawi lang, then we come back in the afternoon. Pag okay na, pag replenish na yung strength namin, no? So, nag-isip ako ng mga memories ko kasi gusto ko i-share sa inyo yung as a son, no? And, clinically, ang memory ng mga bata is like, magsisimula ko start ng memory 6 years old pataas. So yung mga 3 years old, 4 years old, siguro may kahit pa paano subconsciously, no? Pero total concrete memory, wala talaga, no? So I was thinking about my primal memories na talagang solid, no? So yun, regarding dating suite, may time na share ko lang. Sabi ng dad ko, Dad, ba't mo pinapalabas? So sabi ng dad ko, I'm going to do something special with your mom. So, after 8 months, pinanganak yung brother ko. Okay. Another, as a husband, he's a very responsible husband, no? He was the best provider, no? I can say that he's the best dad, and you can say that your dads are the best, no? Yay, Dad! So yun, he was very responsible. He was able to provide. In 31 years in this world, never ako nagutom. I'm not bragging about it. We're not a rich family. We're just average or below average. But at least never ako nagutom. No? So yun. And Dad has a good sense of humor. Dad, pasensya ka na. Actually kanina natulog ako kasi 4 AM na ako natulog kanina umaga. Tapos I need to fetch my eldest son sa Pasay. And 2 na ako nakatulog. So 6 ako nagising to fetch him. Nakuwi ako 2 PM na, so only 2 hours sleep since yesterday, no. So I really have to catch up, no. So I slept in this afternoon, no. Napanaginip ako si Dad. So nag-usap kami. Sabi niya sa akin, Dad, ano ba lalagay ko sa speech ko? Seryoso po to, walang barbero. Totoo to. Sabi niya sa akin, don't make it too personal. Wala na talaga akong malagay. Kasi kung hindi ko pa personal, sobrang shallow na ma-share ko sa inyo. So yun, he has a good sense of humor and very jolly person. Share ko sa inyo one time, another childhood memory. When I was yung ma-meditate ko, ayoko yung recent yung mga high school, college, medyo late na yun. So I want to share yung mga tipong 8 years old, 9 years old ako. One time, sa UP kasi, sa likod ng UP, merong tambakan ng basura. No? Nung time na yan, alam ko parang ginagawa yung car or sira yata. So nag-taxi kami from the mall. Yung taxi driver ako, si dad, si mom, sa brother ko. So dumaan kami doon sa may tambakan basura, sa may likod. Yung mga taga-UP familiar dito sa may Bliss. Nung araw, tambakan basura yun, no? So dumaan kami doon. Si dad kasi, hindi ko alam kung meron siyang sphincter problem or talagang nananadya siya minsan. Nagpapalabas siya ng bad smell na utot. Umutot siya. Out of nowhere, no? So nag-drive kami, dumaan kami doon. Sabi ng driver, grabe, ang baho ng basura pumapasok sa taxi, And that was very, evil lang. So, typical pilyo, no? So, yun. Tapos, with regards, siya yung nag-iimbento ng mga aliases sa amin, no? For example, ako, Ang name ko kasi sa bahay, Rufy. So, siya nagtatawag sa Rufino. Si Ethan, yung second na son ko, Ethan ang name, tawag niya yung Tanaka. So mula nun, lahat Tanaka na tawag sa kanya. Si Vince, tawag niya Benchot. Si Sander, Sandong. Si Pia, Piawok. Tapos si Harvey, Harbo. So basically, kapag narinig nyo na gano'n yung tawag, siya yung talaga nagbibigyan ng alias. Mahilig siyang bigyan ng alias. So yun. So, sa second part, yung sinabi niya sinulat niya na, your kids are here with me, ha? So basically, para siyang pilin. He wanted the kids to visit him even at home or in the hospital, no? So, even in his last phrases, no, he was still thinking about the kids. Kasi sobrang mahilig nga po talaga siya sa bata. Sobrang mahal naman yung mga grandchildren niya, no? So, sobrang spend time sa mga kids. Tapos sobrang playful kasi ni Dad, no? I won't say childish, pero childlike. Sa gaya nga sabi ng tito ko, bago ikasal, naglalaro siya ng Matchbox, no? So, ganun. Until now, nung recently, nag-avail pa rin siya ng mga for the kids. Pero minsan kasi parang ginagawa niya rin front talaga. Mahilig si Daddy mag-front. So one time nasa mall kami, sabi ko, Dad, bili tayo ng gift for the kids for Christmas, no? May tala siyang drone, yung RC drone, yung lumilipad, no? Na helicopter yan. So sabi ko, Dad, paano kanina yan? Ay, para sa bata to, matutuwa sila dito. Eventually, siyempre nung pang-front niya, nung una, naglaro sila ng bata. Eventually, that's what he do when he spent his time alone, no? After work, at his spare time, papalipad siya ng drone. Kasi natutunan ko before, ay nalaman ko na he was a frustrated pilot. No? He wanted to be a pilot before when he was a kid. Yun nga lang kasi, at that time, he will be assigned in the US as a pilot in the US Navy. Yun nga lang, girlfriend ni mom ko, so mom gave him a choice. Pilot or ako. And yun, pinili niya si mom eh. So, ganun. Tapos he really planned for that kid's future. Sabi ko, Dad, baka ma-overload ka. Kasi si Daddy, he teaches, nung una, TIP lang. Pero eventually, nag-double work siya. He works from 8 to 11 sa Arellano, and 1 until 8 sa Letran. Yes, that's it. Hanggang 8. Tapos syempre, traffic, he gets home at 10. Tapos from 10 till 12, nag-aaral siya. Tapos, yun, tulog siya, gising siya ng 4. So basically, it's 4 to 5 hours per day, which is very unhealthy. But I told him, but he needs it. I'll give it to you later. But he needs it. Favorite na po niya yan. Pasensya na kayo, sobrang namimiss niya lang lahat ng tao. Na-overwhelm siya kasi we only see him once a month. Nasa mom. Nasa first mom. So yun. Tapos si Daddy cool lang talaga siya. May gusto ko share sa inyo na conversation namin 2006. Hindi ko kasi malipat sa para makita niyo yung video. Pero it's a video, one-on-one video. Binidyoan ko siya habang, alam ko, uminom siya nun eh. 2006 na namatay si Lola. So paparinig ko na lang sa inyo yung audio. Yung mga nasa harap, so ito itsura niya. Parang conversation with my dad. No, it's okay. I'm going to play it. 2006, so basically I was third year college. No?
akong buntis at maraming natawa. Sabi, wala mo na ako. Papahirapan pa. Paano papahirapan? Hindi ako ba mag-aalaga? Ako ba magpapaaral na anak ko? Hindi talaga. Kaya pala ako na.
So yun, yun nasa background yung mom ko, no? So, si mom kasi, pag si dati si Palapiro. So, si mom naman, can you sit down? Right? So, si mom kasi, laging kontra. So, kunyari, natuto akong tumawid ng kalye, technically high school. Buong elementary ko, nasa utak ng mom ko, masasagasaan ako ng kotse. So, sabi ng dad ko, sige, patawarin mo, balitat. So, yan, kunyari nung grade 6 ako, grade 5, no? Mom, pupunta ako sa ganito. Oh, baka may tatawiran ka dyan. Sabi ni daddy, sarcastically, oo, parang 4 na highway dadaanan niya eh. So, yung mom ko naman, don't worry. So, wala ko siya makasar talaga. Tapos yun, he treated his grandson as his own. Yun nga sabi ko sa inyo, kasi hindi naman ako, hindi naman sa proud, pero I'm not ashamed to say na I had my first son with my ex-girlfriend before. Tapos yung succeeding na dalawa ko from another woman. That's okay, that's life. No? So, yung first son ko kasi, nandito ba yung nanay? Wala, sige. Okay lang, sige. Medyo yung feeling na medyo pinagdadamot sa akin yung kid. Kasi we broke up, and she's very protective for her son, no? So, we only see the kid like once a month, kaya na-overwhelm siya sa tao kasi he's locked in the room for the whole 7 years of his life. Na-overwhelm lang siya. So, pasensya na ako makulit kasi matutuwa lang siya dahil ngayon spacious yung ginagalawa niya dito. So, yun. So, I only see the kid once a month. Mostly, kasi sobrang, since a nurse ako, shifting yung duty namin, no? So, maraming times I don't have time enough to fetch the kid kasi layo sa Pasay. QC kami, Pasay yung bata. Pero si daddy, he takes the extra effort to get the kid every month, no? Aside from that, hindi ko alam pala na every week pala niya pinupuntahan yung bata kahit ayaw pahiram. Ginagawa ng dad ko, dahil niya sa McDo, bigyan niya Happy Meal, bigyan niya ng food, that's it. And he's happy na kahit hindi niya dala, he doesn't have the kid back home. Parang yung hours na kasama niya yung bata, that's enough for him. So nagulat din kasi ako, parang sabi ko medyo marami kasing loan sa work, no? Sabi ko sa mother, parang, di ako kasi dati may yearly increase yung abot ko, no? So lately, parang hindi ako kinukulit na, dagdag na, parang gano'n, no? So sabi ko, okay to ah. Ako naman, no problem naman, basta sabihin niya. So ibig sabihin baka din na-promote siya or enough yung sahod ng girl, no? Nagulat ako kasi si dad pala, pinag-grocery din yung bata every week. No? Tapos syempre, nako-compare sa dalawang kids na bakit sobrang generous mo dun sa isa. Pero yung dalawa, sabi ko, nag-usap kami, no? Ba't ang generous mo sa isa? Samantalang di mo ako tinutulungan to sa dalawa. Yung dalawang, pangalawa tsaka pangatlo. Kaya sa akin, anak, kasi binubunan ko kasi yung pagkukulang mo sa una mo. I want him to have a normal life. I want him to have a father. Kaya I'm doing a favor. No? I'm just your substitute for your first son. Na I know you don't have time because you're very busy. So in my spare time, I'd rather substitute for your in your behalf. So yan, nakaka-touch din, no? Kasi yung pala yun, kung bakit parang unfair, pero hindi naman pala talaga. That's his purpose lang kasi he's substituting for me, for the kid. To give the kid a normal life, to give the kid the feeling of having a father, no? Lastly, yung last na phrase niya, no? I love you so much, anak. How do I pay for all that you've done for me? So as a son, no? So as a son, he was a forgiving and merciful father. Hindi ko alam kung yun ang tingin sa akin ng family members ko, pero I consider myself as the black sheep of my generation, no? Because maraming vices, daming problemang binibigay sa dati ko, gimmick, no? But despite of that, he was still merciful for me. Gaya nga nila, hindi nagtatanim si dad ng sama ng loob. Occasionally nag-aaway kami, nagkakasagutan kami. Pero he doesn't make it last forever. I mean, he doesn't make it last within his heart. After natapos na. So yun. Actually, parang ano nga eh, in character, siya yung tao na wala akong masabi. Kasi, kunyari, may history siya sa ganito na nakasagutan niya before. So magugulat ka, hindi naman sila nag-compromise pero he treats the person naturally as if nothing happened. So sobrang pure ng heart niya na hindi siya nagtatanim. Kunyari na nagawa kita ng mali, kahit hindi tayo nagsorryhan, at the end of the day, I still treat you as a human being, as one of my colleagues, parang gano'n. So yun. Tapos yun, wala nga siyang kaaway, wala siyang kinikilingan, no? Share ko lang nung bata ako, kasi nung bata ako pala sagot ako. Mga pasaway kasi ako, makulit ako, pala sagot ako sa mga tito ko. Eh, mga tito ko, parang konti lang gap sa akin. So, technically, parang magpipinsan lang kami. No? May one time, may inis sa akin tito ko, sobrang nanggigil yung tito ko. Binato ako ng bola yata. Basta nasaktan ako. I was hurt. I cried. Kasi parang inaasar ko yung tito ko. Hindi ko alam kung sinagot ko or may nasabi akong mali. So, nag-init tito ko, binato ko ng bola or sinaktan ako. No? So, I went to my dad. Sabi ko, Dad, si tito ganyan, binato ako ng bola eh. Sakit eh. So, sabi ni Dad, yung typical na, sa mga typical parents sa pelikula, di ba? Sabi nun, "Hoy tol, ba't mo naman binato yun ako?" Yung typical reaction ng dad, no? Overprotectiveness. Pero yung dad ko ganito sabi sa akin, "Ano ba ginawa mo?" Sabi ko, "Dad, kasi naasar ko lang eh. Kaya naman pala, naasar mo pala." So, we never fought anyone. Kapag nakita niya na, he's a just person. When he says it's your fault, it's your fault. You have to pay for it. You have to pay for the consequences, no? Walang anak-anak, walang kamag-anak. Because it was your fault eh. So, ganun. Tapos yun, caring. Sobrang caring niya. Elementary days ko, high school days ko, college days ko. Until now, yung recently, na nag-work na ako, hatid sundo pa rin ako ng dad ko. No? So, sobrang thoughtful niya. Kahit pagod, wala eh. Hatid sundo eh. Kunya, lalo na pag bumabagyo, nag-work na ako eh, bahain sa amin. So, susunduin niya talaga ako. Kahit pagod, wala eh. Ano niya talaga, custom niya talaga. Sobrang binibaby niya kami na hatid sundo from then on. No? Tapos yun, and he really worked hard for his family. Actually, nakakausap ko yung mga previous niyang friends, no? Na he never started with the silver spoon in his mouth. He worked hard for it. Sabihin natin, he started as a van salesman sa CMC, which is earning below minimum wage at the time. Again, wala pong no? Pero sobrang proud ako kasi kahit paano, napag-aral niya ako sa exclusive school. Ganun ka-importante yung education kay dad. So, ako nga ngayon, parang hindi ako nagayabang. Sabihin natin yung slightly above minimum ang salary ko, pero I am trying, pero it's hard. So, it's hard to bring your kids to exclusive schools nowadays because sobrang taas talaga ng rate. At that time, ganun din naman eh. Kasi umakat din naman yung rate ng money, umakat din naman tuition. So, basically, they're directly proportion. So, ganun. So yun, sabi ko nga kanina, he's childlike. Naalala ko members ng dad ko, dinadala kami sa arcade. Pero siya yung sumasakay doon sa mga yung mga gumagalaw-galaw kasi delikado yun. Nilig sa arcade, nag-sports din siya, tapos yun, nag-remote control siya before. Tapos siguro, ako lang kasi nakakita nito, no? Lahat naman tayo may ganitong side natin. Yung pag nag-isa ka na sa kwarto, yung kunyari, hindi natin alam, may ka pala magsuot ng costume. Pero hindi din suot ng costume si dad, no? When he's alone, syempre alam niya, bata kasama niya, the kid won't judge him, no? Meron siyang subconsciously, lumalabas yung mga passion niya before, kung ano sana yung naging siya, kung hindi siya naging CPA, no? Firstly, gusto niya maging DJ. Ang gusto niyang codename, DJ Charlie. So pag nakikinig siya ng radyo, okay, this is DJ Charlie and this is Chris Benoit. Chris Benoit, sorry. Ano pala yun? Wrestler pala, David Benoit, mga ganun. So, enjoy, 105.5. So, hilig siya. Siya si DJ Charlie. Alright. Tapos isa pa yung pilot nga. So, he wanted to be a pilot. Kaya, hindi ka mapalipad ng aeroplano, bili ka na ng RC, paliparin mo na lang. So, kahit pa na fulfillment sa kanya yun. So, as a human, with regards to religion, he always go to mass. Actually, nag-aaway kami. Pag may gimmick ako ng 7, I need to go out at 6. Sabi niya, anak, magsimba lang ako. 6 to 7 lang naman yan eh. Okay, I give you a leeway. 7, dito ka na. Na-extend eh. Pero yun nga, he always goes to mass. Tapos, he's really strict in prayers. When I was a kid, makulit ako. Makulit talaga ako when I was a kid. No? So pag may mass, buong mass makulit ako. Kasi talagang obligatory yun. Lahat tayo, when we were kids, obligatory magsimba. Kasi our parents teach us na we put the Lord first, aside from everything. No? Hindi siya pilitan, pero they need to bring us to church because they need to accustom us to make it a habit na lagi natin nadadalhin natin when we grow up. No? So yun, naalala ko one time parang ang kulit ko sa mass, no? Buong mass makulit ako, although hindi ako umalis, no? Nagstay ako sa mass, pero makulit ako buong mass. So tapos na yung mass, sabi ko lang, tapos na yung mass, uwi na tayo. Hindi, load ka dyan. Pinaload na ako ng 20 minutes. So nag-uwi na lahat ng tao, nakaload ako 20 minutes. So ganun siya ka-strict with regards to going to mass. With regards to prayer, no? Tapos yun, before naging mass coordinator siya, kaya marami silang friends na pare. So, as a human, marami siyang struggles, no? I've been a witness. I've been one of the witnesses of his struggles in life. No? He made bad decisions. He fell many times. He went up and then fall again. It was a very bumpy road for him. A very bumpy and rough road for him. But despite all of that, he was still high-spirited to fight for it. So, last na to, sorry. Medyo matagal. Ako kasi nagbantay for the last 5 months of his life. So basically, nagkasawaan kami ng mukha. Nagkapalitan ng mukha. So yun. As in, ako yung naging kanang kamay niya. Ako yung literally naging katawan niya. With regards to moving, turning, eating, taking medications, and with regards to defecating. No? Ako yung naging puwet niya. Kasi paralyzed lahat, so he need to defecate manually. So nagmamanual extraction kami every now and then. Kaya sobrang close na close kami ng tatay ko. So yun. So yun nga, brief history saglit lang. May 14, na-stroke siya. 3 weeks siya sa hospital namin, 1 week sa heart center. We went home. He needed surgery because of the bed sore. Kasi bed sore po, no, some people may think, kasi if you're going to look at Google, it's avoidable through turning, no? Pero, even the doctors told me, no? Kasi still turning, nurse ako, it might hurt me. Kasi I was a nurse. I should know that. Dapat walang source eh. Nurse ka eh. Nurse yung anak eh. Hindi nga lang it's unavoidable. Marami kasing factors eh. Unang-una yung tama ng stroke. If it's total talagang function loss. Ikalawa, yung weight. He was overweight. Siguro kung payat, mas lessened yung ano. Kasi syempre yung bigat, obviously. Physics, no? Mas mabigat, mas malaki yung mass. Yung pressure. Mas payat, mas madaling i-turn. Mas less yung pressure, mas least likely mag-soar, no? Isa pang factor yung nutrition, no? So sabi ko nga, hindi niya nabubukas yung bibig niya, so he had to eat through NGP, calculating yung food. Unlike sa atin, when we're hungry, we can eat 2 rice. Dagdagan natin rice, dagdagan natin ulam. But sa kanya, calculated. It's only 350 ml per feeding. No more, no less. So ganun, computed siya. So ang bilis talaga ng nutritional problem talaga. We can never eradicate it. Hindi naman natin pwede i-load, baka mamaya mag-aspirate. Pasensya na kayo sa medical terms. Sorry. So ganun. So it was yung last month niya, sa hospital na rin namin, kasi ang naging kalaban talaga namin, nutrition, fluid and electrolytes, tsaka bed sores. So the sore was very big. And very extensive, and he had multiple sores which we need to treat. So we had antibiotics. He underwent surgery 3 to 4 times every 3 to 4 days. So it's like 7 surgeries, 6 surgeries per a month. No? We can never use general anesthetic kasi delikado. Pag palagi, sunod-sunod na general anesthesia. So we used local, which is very painful. So guys, natuloy na tayo, di ba? Naalala nyo, pag tinusok kayo ng anesthesia, tutusukan yung, di ba? Yung balat natin sabihin, do you feel pain? Dok, masakit pa eh. So, dagdag anesthesia. In his case, he can never speak. He can never write. And he can never moan. He only moans when he's in the extreme pain. So, it's very excruciating. So, yung experience ko, yung journey namin for 5 months, I learned a lot as a nurse. Because he fought for his life. Kasi before, galing ako ng public na hospital. No? Na-assign ako sa mga critical patients, medical patients, no? Sanay na ako mamatayan. Sanay na ako makaharap ng patay. So, may dalawang choices sa mga patients, no? It's either, it's very excruciating, they opt to not be aggressive, or sobrang aggressive ng relatives, they opt to be very aggressive. So, ganun. So, nasanay na kami, we give people choices. To the point na kapag yung patients hindi nakakapag-choose kung papa-CPR ba siya o hindi, we give the decision to the relatives. So, nakita ko na yung pain over the years ng mga iba't ibang tao sa hospital namin. So, I told myself, I'll never intubate my dad. Intubate meaning, lalagyan ng tubo sa bibig, diretso sa lungs, para assist ng ventilator. So, I never want to hurt my dad. I never want my dad to experience those pain, no? Kasi nga, I've seen the pain from other people. Pero, I was surprised for my dad, no? So, after 5 months na paghirap na, naka-lockdown syndrome siya, hindi siya makakilos, no? Yung 1 week prior siya namatay, bumabagsak yung oxygen niya sa katawan. Meron kaming pan-check ng oxygen, no? So, bumabagsak. So, na-discuss namin ng duty na doctor kung anong gagawin. Sabi niya, pre, if ever ba, tutubuhan ba natin? Sabi ko, Dok, as a nurse, kilala mo ako. Kasi friend ko yun, nurse, nakasama ko yung doctor niya, 7 years eh. 7 years ko nakasama since pumasok ako, no? Ano yun eh, kumbaga kami yung mga, cold-hearted. Sorry to say, pero kami yung kunyari, ang tawag nila sa amin, Prime Minister. Kasi kami taga-prime sa mga patients, no? Kami humaharap sa mga relatives ng mga comatose. Kasi yung mga friends ko na nurses, hindi nila kaya sabihin na, you have a choice. Sila parang, go tayo lahat. Gawin natin lahat. So, ganun sila. Ayaw nila bigay yung other choice, which is stopping the life of the patient. So, kami lang yung may guts na gawin yun. Ilan lang kami doon. Kami humaharap talaga. So, yun. So, doon namin discuss. A week prior siya na kinuha ni Lord. Sinave ni God from pain, no? A week prior, doon namin discuss regarding sa intubation. So, sabi ko, huwag muna tubuhan. Try natin baka kaya ng nebulization. So, dined namin. Pinuso pa namin, pinalitan namin position. Eventually, tumaas na sa oxygen to the point na nanumbalik yung yung consciousness niya. So, I talked to him. I took advantage of it. Na sabi ko, Dad, tumingin siya sa akin. Kasi, for 5 months, sa mata kami nag-uusap eh. Ang usapan namin, kapag yes, big eyes. Kapag no, gaganan siya. Yung nga lang, yung later weeks niya, prior siya na kinuha, no? Hindi niya na masyado magalaw yung neck. Ang yes namin, pikit na. Ang no reaction. So, ganun. Sabi ko, Dad, if ever ba kailangan mong tubuhan, papatubo ka pa. Pumikit siya. So, inulit ko ulit. Baka mamaya, napuwing lang eh. So, isa pa, Dad, if ever na kailangan kang tubuhan at buwabag sa oxygen mo, papatubo ka ba? So, he blinked again. So, sobrang nabilib ako sa dad ko. Imagine, 5 months of pain, pero when the end is near, no? When it's already near, ito na yung chance para maka-escape sa life eh. No? Huwag kang magpatubo, you only have like 2 days, 1 to 2 days, you're free. Pero you still fought for it. So, sobrang nakakabilib. Kasi, actually sa US may ganong practice, no? When terminally ill patients want to escape life, a very miserable life, kukontrata sila ng doktor, no? Dok, kasi ang hirap na ng cancer ko eh. It's very painful eh. Patay mo na ako. So, babayad sila. So, practice na siya sa US ngayon. Yung euthanasia kasi, naka-ventilator, tanggalin mo yung, may life support, tatanggalin mo. Euthanasia yun. Pero ito, induced killing. Parang suicide na medically accepted to escape. Pero sa dad ko, I was very proud kasi very painful yung experience niya. Very painful yung pinagdaanan niya. Pero despite of it, he still fought for it. Parang yun nga tinulong niya sa akin na people were meant to die trying rather than try dying at the terminal part of our lives. No? In Tagalog, kapag nasa bingit na tayo ng buhay natin, we are meant na try until you die. No? Okay lang mamatay sa kasusubok, at least sinubukan natin. At least numaban tayo. Rather than sinubukan natin bumatay para magaling. That is never an escape eh. Siguro, his remaining struggles in life was his way of showing God na the gift of life that you gave me is very precious to me. No? I will fight for it till my last breath. So, yun.
Thank you.
So, thank you. Salamat po sa inyo.